Mr. Chairman, sir, I request you to deliver your address.
Welcome to the 13th Annual Convocation of IIT Roorkee. Distinguished members of the Senate, Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Tom Miller, Director IIT Roorkee, Dr. Kirit Parekh, faculty, staff, alumni, members, parents, and families of the graduating students. Thank you for being here for this convocation ceremony. I can sense there's a lot of energy in this enclosure. I'm particularly grateful to Mr. Miller for being with us today. Mr. Miller has a rich background. He has a degree in nuclear physics from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He's worked in 4 startups in the life sciences and technology space. Was at the highest position in management as a non-German in a global company which we all know, Siemens AG, at the time which employed 20,000 employees under his able leadership with a revenue of about $18 billion. He has also been president and CEO of another very famous company called Carl's Rice, an innovator at heart, always displays out-of-the-box thinking. I'm delighted to have him here at home. Also, felicitations for Param Bhushan, Dr. Kirit Parekh, who is an experienced civil engineer turned economist, an alumni also from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, so MIT is reigning strong today, and an ex-member of the Planning Commission from New Delhi. To those who graduate today, I say that having secured admission in this institute through an intensely competitive process and then having studied here under the tutelage of great faculty and professors, you are already amongst the best engineer graduates around the world. I'm confident you will go on to achieve stellar positions in your chosen domains. Best wishes. I know that your careers will progress and prosper, and what you will learn at IIT Roorkee should always stay with you. By this, I don't only mean the technical knowledge that you have learned from this institute, but be mindful also of the following as Indians. More important than the knowledge of science which you have amassed here should be the scientific temper and rhythm that we try to inculcate as a part of the pedagogy here. I urge you to hone, practice, and propagate this scientific temper as a way of life. In your personal lives, draw inspiration from utopia. Be intent on changing the given rather than the intent on maximizing the benefit from the given. Keep in mind that utopia is not a matter of daydreaming or whistling for the moon. It is about making a better future possible by deliberate interventions in your professional, family, and other life, as also building democracy in this country. In the ultimate analysis, deep utopia is only as good as it takes fraternity forward, not lazily, but with determination and drive. We live in strange times, in a sense, where on the one hand science continues to open new dimensions for mankind, but on the other hand we let irrationalism, intolerance, superstition, and fundamentalism beg us backwards. Remember, your thoughts and actions should be governed by the principles of science, objectivity, fairness, integrity, intellectual curiosity, and a firm belief in equality, much like Pradipta, our director of IIT Roorkee, just said. You must constantly clear your mind of cobwebs and parochialism, be open to contrarian views, try to reason, and protect yourself from becoming bigots of any hue. Secularism, for example, draws our attention away from medieval concerns so that we can think about economic progress. History is a testament to this. When the Western world emerged from this religious trap, they experienced economic growth like never before. There is much more to secularism than mere religious tolerance, religious equidistance, or even religious goodwill. Without secularism, there is no development, and that is the hard truth. So keep in mind that the choice is clear. We can think either like our grandparents and go ethnic, or think of our grandchildren and, as Keynes said and did, become secular. Really speaking, there is no other option. At the convocation ceremony of IIT Roorkee, it won't be out of place that I quote from a work of the progenitor of brand IIT. In his book, Discovery of India, Nehruji writes that world needs the critical temper of science that involves search for truth and new knowledge, refusal to accept anything without testing and trial, capacity to change previous conclusions in face of new evidence, reliance on observed fact and not on preconceived theory, the hard discipline of mind. All this is necessary, not merely for application of science, but for life itself and the solution to many problems. And quite obviously, this was written 60 or 70 years ago. It is in this context that we requested Tom to be with us today. As I said earlier, he's a hardened out-of-the-box thinker, and Tom's professional accomplishments in the domains of radiation biophysics and health sciences are without parallel. Equally, his career that has spanned across continents speaks of his cosmopolitanness, liberal, progressive, open mind, and tolerant approach. All his work has been aimed towards improvement in the quality of human life. Thank you, and bless you, Tom. And surely there can be a greater purpose, of science and technology than betterment of human life. People often erroneously think that IIT Roorkee fame stems from its old age. They couldn't be wrong. Antiquity in itself doesn't guarantee gratitude from posterity. What makes this institute special is the fact all along its journey, close to 17 decades, it has worked ceaselessly towards the scientific and technological development for improving society by remaining relevant to current times. Go through the illustrious record of your alumni and you will find incredible contributions all along. They have built bridges as well as written Google algorithms. They successfully run Delhi Metro, as well ensured that the aviation system of our country runs smoothly, just to speak of a few. Some others are in other very, very noble professions and important positions. So I'm sure that like them, you too shall not restrict science to your profession, but make it a way of life, and in doing so, you shall be true brand ambassadors of this great institute. Congratulations on your graduation, and take time to savor this achievement and day. Jai. Thank you.
Chairman, sir, I present to you Sri Kirit Shantilal Parekh, Padma Bhushan, a former member of Planning Commission and Chairman Integrated Research and Action for Development. He received his doctor's degree of science and master's degree in economics from MIT and has been a professor of economics since 1967. Sri Parekh was the founder director of the Indira Gandhi Institute of Development Research in Mumbai. Sri Parekh was chairman of the Integrated Energy Policy Committee, Planning Commission, and was a member of Economic Advisory Council of many Prime Ministers of India. He has also been a member of the National Committee for Environmental Planning and Coordination, the National Committee on Science and Technology, and the Fuel Policy Committee. He has been the president of the Indian Econometric Society and Gujarat Economic Association. He is on the governing boards of many development research institutes in India and has been chairman of some of these institutes. He has been chairman of the Indian National Committee for the India International Institute for Applied Systems Analysis Programs. He has also served on the board of directors of a number of major industrial firms and financial institutions. Worth mentioning from them are Indian Petrochemicals, Life Insurance Corporation of India, Industrial Development Bank of India, and the State Bank of India. He received the Padma Bhushan in the year 2009. He is a fellow of the National Academy of Sciences of India. He is a recipient of the Vikram Sarabhai Award in 1978, Vishwesvaraya Award in 1999, and Nayaduma Award in 2005. He was honored by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in September 2007 as the most distinguished and illustrious alumni of the decade from India. He also received the Distinguished Alumnus Award from IIT Kharagpur in the year 2007. Shri Parekh was facilitated by the Indian Engineering Congress in December 2007 as one of the engineering personalities. Shri Parekh has authored, co-authored and edited 29 books in the area of planning, engineering, water resources management, natural resources, accounting, environmental governance, energy systems and policy, and has published numerical articles. Mr. Chairman, sir, it is an honor for the Indian Institute of Technology Roorkee and my proud privilege to request you to confer on Sri Kirit Chantilal Parekh the degree of Doctorate of Science honoris causa in recognition of his outstanding contributions. Professor Parekh, I would like you now to give your response.
Mr. Narjit Singh, Professor Prashant Banerjee, distinguished faculty members and graduating students. It's indeed a great honor to receive this honorary degree from IIT Roorkee. I passed my SSC exam high school way back in 1951. That was the days when India was building all these temples of modern India, as Nehru says. The Bhakra Dam was under construction, we were setting up steel mills and so on. And it seemed the most important thing to do was to become an engineer so that you can contribute somewhat to the development of the country towards the building of these temples of modern India. And I became a civil engineer. I did my BE from Gujarat University, went to Kharagpur to do MTech in structural engineering, and then went to MIT and completed my Doctor of Science in Civil Engineering. And while I was doing this thesis there, and this is the charm of flexibility of an institute like MIT, that I was able to take all the graduate courses in economics theory, advanced economic theory, as well as in development economics. So that by the time I had finished my PhD thesis in civil engineering, I also had a master's degree in economics. And I was lucky to be offered a professor of economics post at the Indian Statistical Institute in Delhi, which was located in Yojana Bhavan in the Planning Commission building, and which was really working as an intellectual wing of the Prospective Planning Division of the Planning Commission. So I was able to contribute somewhat, intensely interacting with people like Amar Pant, who was then heading the Prospective Planning Division of the Planning Commission. And then, of course, it really helped one understand the complexity of problems and difficulties of development in our country. I think I worked on the development of planning models from the third and the fourth five-year plan. At MIT, I had worked on that. And I think what would distinguish an approach of a person who has a background in engineering and then who has learned some economics is that you become much more solution-oriented. You become pragmatic. You want to find solutions because as an engineer, you want to build things. You want to see things coming out. And so you get somewhat less caught up into the maze of theory and you try to find your way out to see what is the solution to the problem that we are facing. And I think it is very important to think in terms of a multidisciplinary approach is very critical, vital, if you want to deal with policy issues. Often I find that many economists, when they're looking for an optimal solution, the options they think of are they miss out on some of the most important technological development and options that can take place. So they would optimize on a set of limited options. On the other hand, I have also seen engineers working on which would be relatively, irrelevant, economically irrelevant problems, and they find that what they have done, nobody listens to them because they were anyway to begin with in the first place economically irrelevant. So I think what one really needs to do is look at technological issues and think of its relevance right up front. Even I would argue that before you even take up a project, you should ask the question, what is the worth of it? Should I do this? Why am I doing this? And I think this is extremely important that we do this kind of assessment in designing our research programs and of course in what we want to do in life. Often, when you think of a problem, you have to think that when you want to accept it, how it will be accepted? Would it be accepted? What are the barriers? Which stakeholders would not want this solution to come to? So who would object to it? And I think keeping this perspective in mind, what economists call an incentive compatible approach is extremely critical if you want your research, your outcomes or innovations to find reality and real-life applications. And I think I would argue that many opportunities to work on relevant issues exist in India, and I think even more so in India. And those of you who are graduating are really fortunate that you are in an India which is dynamic and at the same time facing enormous challenges, so that there are many opportunities to work in different areas. Of course, I have worked on policy-related issues for many, many years, and often I am asked the question, has it made any difference? Do people listen to you? Does it change any policies? And I would argue that these are really difficult to answer these questions, and I give two examples. Early in the 50s, we did a study when Bhakra Dam was recently built, and the operation of the Bhakra Dam, how much water to release when, how much electricity to generate, how much water to give for irrigation. So we did a study at the Indian Statistical Institute in Delhi to find out what is an optimal way of operating the Bhakra reservoir. And then we made this presentation to the engineers. And there are 50 of them, all the top engineers were there at Nangal. And we made a presentation of our research findings. And all of them said that Professor Parikh, Srinivasan and Dinas should be congratulated for the work they have done. However, during the time they were doing the study, we have changed our operating procedures. So what you are describing is not quite relevant. On the other hand, one could say that it is because we were doing the study, they were threatened and they felt need to re-examine their own policies and leave this. Will it be successful or not? Difficult to answer. Let me take another example. I chaired the committee that looked at expert committee that formulated the integrated energy policy of the country. This was accepted by the government as a government policy. It provided some 120 recommendations. And at the last count, I would say that 120 of these recommendations have been accepted by the government. Some 20 recommendations, I would say 10 recommendations are not accepted because some ministries do not like it, and some 10 recommendations have not been implemented or accepted. And unfortunately, these 10 are the most important recommendations of the committee report. So I don't know whether we're successful or not. I think it is this that is the challenge, that you work on it, you do something. But in a democratic country like ours, new ideas, new suggestions take time to see through. You have to create a consensus, you have to bring people to your way of thinking. And I think here, an honest exercise and clarity of intellectual analytical work is extremely critical. And I think the graduating class today is really the most well equipped to pursue these kind of approaches and do, I hope, multidisciplinary research, and it would really help the country. And let me just add one last sentence, that we are facing an additional challenge apart from development, and that is of the climate change. And climate change really affects all aspects of our development strategy and policies in ways that we have not thought of in the past. And it requires an approach that brings, I would say, requires earth science, meteorology, ecology, economics, engineering to find measures to minimize adaptation burden and so on. And one can describe many things. And that's where I think people, graduates like you, who have had this training, who have had an ability to think independently, and I hope you have the freedom and courage to think out of the box, can be of great help. I wish you all luck and hope that you will enjoy as much receiving your degree today as I have enjoyed receiving this degree. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Parekh, for an absolutely wonderful thought process. And again, I think he made a fundamental point, and that is, inside the institute, you have been solving problems which have solutions. You're going to be stepping out into the world where almost none of the problems have obvious solutions. That, I think, is the point that he was trying to make. Let the awardee for Khosla National Award be presented to the chairman.
Professor Bhim Singh, may I request you to please come forward to the dais. Professor Bhim Singh received his Bachelor of Engineering degree in Electrical Engineering from University of Roorkee in 1977, Master of Technology in Power Apparatus and Systems, and Doctor of Philosophy degree from the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi in 1979 and 1983. He started his teaching career at his alma mater, University of Roorkee in 1983. In December 1990, he joined Department of Electrical Engineering at IIT Delhi as an assistant professor and became professor in 1997. Professor Singh has been ABB Chair Professor from the year 2007 to 2012 and is presently serving as a Central Electricity Authority Chair Professor at IIT Delhi. The most distinct and significant contributions of Professor Singh are on active power filters and multi-pulse AC-DC converters for power quality improvement, voltage and frequency controllers of isolated asynchronous generators for standalone distributed power generation, optimum design and development of energy-efficient squirrel cage induction motors for renewable energy applications, and low-cost sensorless permanent magnet brushless DC motor drive for spray irrigation and drinking water use in remote areas. Professor Singh has received many research awards for his outstanding research and innovations. Important awards include Khosla Research Prize of University of Roorkee in the year 1991, J.C. Ghosh and Vimal K. Ghosh Awards of the IEEE Maharashtra State National Award of Indian Society for Technical Education, and Delhi Chapter Outstanding Engineer Award for the year 2006. He has been General Chair of the IEEE International Conference on Power Electronics, Drive and Energy Systems held in 2006 and co-general chair of the same conference held in Delhi in 2010. Professor Singh has supervised 41 doctoral theses, 139 Master of Engineering and Master of Technology dissertations, and published more than 900 research papers in journals and conference proceedings. Professor Singh is the Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering, the the National Academy of Science, India, the Indian Academy of Sciences, and Institute of Engineering and Technology, UK. It is a matter of great pleasure for IIT Roorkee to honor Professor Dean Singh with Postcard National Award of ₹51,000, a citation and gold medal for his lifetime achievements in the field of electrical engineering in India. I request the Chairman Board of Governors, Sir, to present the award to Professor Dean Singh.
Let the awardee for Gopal Ranjan Research Award be presented to the Chairman.
Professor Dean Singh, may I request you to please come forward to the dais. Professor Dean Singh is an alumnus of the prestigious IIT Banaras Hindu University. He started his teaching career at his alma mater and moved to IIT Bombay in 2003. Gifted with an ingenious mind, he was the first to hand the fabrication of some inventive geotechnical instruments, noteworthy being the modified Brazilian cage, sonic velocity measurement apparatus, and thermometer. He has authored more than 350 scientific papers in refereed journals and conference proceedings, encompassing problems pertaining to rock mechanics, natural disaster, climate change, and soft computing. He has done pioneering work in the field of slope stability analysis, carbon dissipation, and blasting techniques. Professor Singh is an extraordinary researcher, a thoughtful and compassionate teacher. His research work on engineering, geology, and rock mechanics stand testament to his devotion and passion to the fundamentals of rock science. Professor Singh has been recipient of ISCA Young Scientist Award in the year 1992, Sukumar Ritwik Rock Mechanics Award in 1999, the Young Teachers Career Award from All India Council of Technical Education for the year 1997 to 2001, National Mineral Award in 2006, the first PN Post National Mineral Award in 2009, and Geological Survey of India Sesquicentennial Commemorative Award in 2011. He is a member of various national committees, staff member of Ministry of Railways, GST, CSR, and Ministry of Commerce. It is a matter of great pleasure for the IIT Roorkee to honor Professor Dean Singh with Gopal Ranjan Research Award, which is 55,000, and a citation for innovative and creative work in engineering, geology, and rock mechanics. I request the Chairman, sir, to please present the award to Professor Dean Singh. Thank you. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Thomas J. Miller, sir, I present the candidates who have duly qualified in the year 2012-13 to receive the Institute medals and prizes. Vihan Jain, Bachelor of Technology, Computer Science and Engineering, is awarded President's Gold Medal for obtaining highest CGPA amongst the PTEC, DR, IDT, Integrated Master of Science, Integrated Master of Technology students. Shashank Shekhar, Bachelor of Technology, Electrical Engineering, is awarded Director's Gold Medal for the best all-rounder amongst the PTEC, DR, IDT, Integrated Master of Science, Integrated Master of Technology programs. Gunjan Gutra is awarded the President of India Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma Gold Medal for excellent performance in academics, extracurricular activities including social service and having good character amongst all passing out Indian students. He is also awarded Dr. Jai Krishna Gold Medal for the best student in the B.Tech BR courses for outstanding performance in academics and sports. Aditi Garg, Bachelor of Architecture. Institute Silver Medal is awarded to her for obtaining the highest CGPA amongst the students of the architecture. Avanshu Gupta, Bachelor of Technology in Electronics and Communication Engineering. Institute Silver Medal is awarded for obtaining the highest CGPA amongst the students of Bachelor of Technology in Electronics and Communication Engineering. Agam Mohan Sharma is awarded Institute Silver Medal for obtaining the highest CGPA amongst the students of Bachelor of Technology in Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Vijay Prakash Kumbawat, Bachelor of Technology in Mechanical Engineering, is awarded Institute Silver Medal for obtaining the highest CGPA among the students of Bachelor of Technology in Mechanical Engineering. Namneet Kumar is awarded Institute Silver Medal for obtaining the highest CGPA amongst the students of Bachelor of Technology in Pulp and Paper Engineering. Suman Saurabh, Integrated Dual Degree, Bachelor of Technology in Chemical Engineering and Master of Technology in Hydrocarbon Engineering, is awarded Institute Silver Medal for obtaining the highest CGPA. Saurabh Kumar Dixit, Integrated Dual Degree Program, Bachelor of Technology in Computer Science and Engineering and Master of Technology in Information Technology, awarded Institute Silver Medal for obtaining the highest CGPA. Aditi Gupta, Integrated Dual Degree Program, Bachelor of Technology in Electrical Engineering and Master of Technology in Power Electronics. Institute Silver Medal is awarded to her for obtaining the highest CGPA. Neela Sagar Ram, Integrated Master of Technology in Polymer Science and Technology. Institute Silver Medal for obtaining the highest CGPA is awarded to him. Shikhar Shukla, Integrated Master of Technology, Geophysical Technology. Institute Silver Medal is awarded to him for obtaining the highest CGPA amongst the students of Integrated Master of Technology, Geophysical Technology. Neha Taraval, Integrated Master of Technology in Geological Technology. Institute Silver Medal is awarded to her for obtaining the highest CGPA. Rajdeep Barua, Integrated Master of Science, Applied Mathematics. Institute Silver Medal is awarded for obtaining the highest CGPA among the students of Integrated Master of Science, Applied Mathematics. Indrajit Banerjee, Integrated Master of Science, Physics. Institute Silver Medal is awarded to him for obtaining the highest CGPA among the students of Integrated Master of Science, Physics. Thank you, sir.
Whoever already got that medal,
I have great pleasure in introducing our chief guest, Mr. Thomas J. Miller. Tom Miller, as he likes to call himself, holds a BS degree in nuclear engineering and Master of Science degree in medical physics from the Harvard Medical School and MIT. He has been a member of the group board of Siemens Medical Solutions and has an impressive record of leadership with many multinational companies. His broad range of experience and expertise in medical physics and information technology served to shape his passion for medicine and transforming how we approach the prediction, preventive, diagnosis and treatment of disease. He served as the president at Siemens Medical Solutions Group. He was president and chief operating officer of Analogic Corporation and the chief executive officer. He served as chief executive officer of National Grid Wireless Limited and was president and chief executive officer of Carl Zeiss. He is a director of Photoelectron Corporation since April 2001. Prior to establishing Greybird Venture, he was the chief executive officer of Siemens Healthcare Global Customer Solutions, which encompasses the organization's worldwide sales and services. In fact, he told me that he had at one time 26,000 employees in 132 countries reporting to him. And when I was telling him about the problems of running IIT, when he told me 26,000 people over 132 countries, it seemed a very small problem. His recently established Greybird Ventures is an umbrella company for various independent consulting and investment and management activities. With these words, I warmly welcome once again Tom Miller to the Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, and request him to deliver his address.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I'm a little nervous. This is quite an honor, so I hope you're kind to me during the next period where I'm speaking to you and sharing some thoughts to you. My thoughts are structured in the first part is an apology. You see, the majority of what I'm going to talk about are ideas that I have received from a poet, a musician, and an artist. Now you might think to yourself, does this little American know where he is? After all, we are the graduates of the Indian Institute of Technology. We have mastered the calculus. Our hands have created new molecules, nanoparticles. We have wielded the inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometer. We have conquered quantum electrodynamics, a course whose name strikes fear in liberal arts majors around the world, and yet you come to us talking about ideas from a poet, a musician, and an artist. Yes, I do. The good news to all your graduates is there's no test. You've taken all of those. You don't have to listen, look around you, find someone attractive, fantasize, whatever else you would like to do. You can ignore the rest of my comments. But if you find nothing useful, I apologize. Part 2 of my comments, in which I destroy your expectations. You see, at times like this, everyone comes with expectations about what the chief guest should say. The expectations are usually that at this time, you are looking at the future of all of these graduates. You are going to celebrate and talk about their great success and the joy of their triumphs. But instead of talking about the future and success and joy, I have chosen to speak about the past, difficulty, and despair. And I'm not kidding. The great poet laureate Robert Pinsky asked once an interesting question. He said, "Consider the pathetic human. We are a comical creature. Our claws are not long or sharp enough to defend ourselves from attack. Our teeth and jaws inadequate to hunt and kill prey. Our hair grows in funny comical patches around our body, inadequate to shield ourselves from the elements. We can run but not very fast. We climb but not very well. We swim but others can swim better. How is it that this soft, weak, hairless creature has come to so dominate the planet, for better or for worse? I think there are three reasons. The first would be obvious to any alien that came down and watched us for a little while. They would observe that this creature emits a complicated series of grunts from its orifice of ingestion. These complicated series of grunts allow it to communicate with others of its like, communicate very complicated things like go to the hardware store, Swenson's, not Ericsson's hardware store, pick up a 2-pound box of 6-penny galvanized roofing nails, or that has got the kind of Rembrandt I like, or I love you, just not in that way. Communicating allows us to communicate with our past, to be informed of such things as to where to find the best food, how to construct the best shelters, what herbs and leaves might be used as defense against disease, how to attract and hold a mate, although that still requires work. But communication itself is insufficient to explain our dominance. The second reason, I believe, is the human being's love of difficulty. You might find that surprising if you read the brochures of the travel industry. They would have you believe that we like fun and frolic on beaches and casinos. But I don't think that's true. I think humans like difficulty. How else do you explain video games? Video games are nothing more than electronic canned difficulty. You master one level, you go to the next level, you master that, you go to the next level because it's difficult. How else do you explain why men and women of great achievement, after reaching the pinnacles of their career, retire and then spend their time with a funny stick, a small white ball, trying to chase it into a very distant hole because it's difficult? Difficulty is important because it means that when the past informs the future doesn't simply accept it. We change it, we modify it, we make it better. Indeed, we no longer live in caves. We no longer hunt and gather our food. Even the mating dances and rituals have improved. Did I just do this in front of you? Sorry. It wasn't intended. I told you I'm nervous. This means that each generation does something that no other organism can do. We accelerate our evolution. Every other organism on this planet evolves by passing on genetic material and mutations. And if those mutations work, they improve. We evolve because the next generation listens to the past, rejects some of what they say, and does things that are difficult. Those that really do difficult things have the drive to master them. And it's the mastery of difficult things that the people here have done and we are celebrating. I am reminded of a musician, Jascha Heifetz. You might not know him. He was the dominant violinist around the world in the 1950s and 60s. He was known as the perfect violinist. He played with every large symphony orchestra, and he was known for practicing 8 hours a day for his entire career. He was once asked, Maestro Heifetz, why do you continue to practice 8 hours a day? He said, it's very simple. If I practice only 2 hours a day, my audience will hear it. If I practice only 4 hours a day, my critics will hear it. If I practice 6 hours a day, the conductor will hear it. And if I practice only 7 hours a day, I will hear it. I am the most difficult judge of what I do. It is my own ambition and my own difficulty that I wish to master. And this makes difficulty important. But it requires a third reason as well. Because if you try to do something very, very difficult, the likelihood is that you may fail. You may think you might never succeed, and you may lapse into despair. The best example of this I know is also from a poet named Michelangelo Buonarroti. You might know him instead as a visual artist, the sculptor of the Pieta, the David in Rome, the painter of the Sistine Chapel. But he also wrote poetry. He wrote sonnets. And he wrote a sonnet, a poem, in the form of a letter to a colleague of his at the time he was painting the Sistine Chapel. Now, the Sistine Chapel, as you all know, that work of art, if you listed the 10 most important works of art in the entire Western civilization, it would be among them. 5 million people per year go to the Sistine Chapel, crane their necks, look up at the ceiling to see his depiction of the creation. I would like you to read to you a poem that Michelangelo wrote to his colleague at the occasion of the painting of the Sistine Chapel. I have it with me somewhere. Tucked it in my pocket. So, Michelangelo to Giovanni di Pistoia, when the author was painting the vault of the Sistine Chapel. I've already grown a goiter from this torture, hunched up here like a cat in Lombardy. My stomach is squashed under my chin, my beard's pointing at heaven. My brain is crushed in a casket, my breast twists like a harpy. My brush above me all the time dribbles paint, so my face makes a fine floor for the droppings. My haunches are grinding into my guts, my poor ass strains to work as a counterweight. Every gesture I make is blind and aimless. My skin hangs loose below me, my spine's all knotted from folding over itself. I'm bent taut as a Syrian bow. My thoughts are crazy, perfidious tripe. My painting is dead. Defend it for me, Giovanni. Protect my honor. I am not in the right place. I am not a painter. If you think about this for a moment, here's a man in the middle of a 4-year project. Wrote this in 1509. It was actually 2 years after he started. And he says about the painting visited by 5 million people a year, my painting is dead. Protect my honor, I'm not in the right place. I am not a painter. If you try to do something very difficult, you may lapse into despair.